That's right, everyone. It's episode 20, Aussie Mac Zone. And don't forget, IT help for you at down there in Penrith, giving the $20 iTunes cards away. So all you got to do is hook up with iTunes and leave us a review either on the audio podcast or the video podcast. So that is iTunes review, ithelpforyou.com.au. We'll have a question or something later for those guys, sponsored by those guys. All right, cool. Let's get into the show. It is episode 20, and it is the 29th of October, and it's nearly Halloween, so hopefully there's no gremlins in the system. That sounds all right.
Booger, booger.
The stream, I think I fixed the stream, so please come back to the stream Tuesday nights, 7:30 Queensland time, and that's at aussietechheads.com.au/live. All right, let's introduce the boys tonight. Jason, we'll start off with him. He's out of the cab and he's back in the house. Jason's in the house.
I am. Hello. I'm not on an iPhone this week after two weeks on iPhones for various reasons, so... Unfortunately, you'll be able to see me now on the video.
Good. All right, well done. And Michael, how are you doing?
Yeah, very good, thanks, man.
Yeah,
good to be back.
That's good. And you had a busy week this week?
Yeah, it's been very good, actually.
Yeah, getting all settled in with Mavericks and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, cruising through that.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Now, where are we going to start here? Look, while I'm trying to find out where we're going to start, if you're thinking of sending us feedback, why don't you? At feedback@aussiemaczone.com.au. All right, now let's start. Look, Michael's put a few little notes together here. We'll let him pick one where to start. Where did you want to start, Michael? That's easy.
Well, it was all about money yesterday, I think. So,
yeah,
for Apple.
Yeah, what was happening there?
Oh, they had their quarterly earnings report. So they made more money than us again.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that wouldn't be hard. So, look at some of these stats here that you've got. During the quarter, the company expects gross margins 36.5% to 37.5%. That's not a bad margin. That's probably above average.
Not a bad tackle, yeah.
That's probably, what would be an average margin these days? You probably 30%. I think is like a bit of a rule of thumb. Is that right?
I don't know about in the PC market. You might be looking at single digits. I think.
I think you're probably right.
For a tech company, that's pretty good. But that being said, that whilst revenue went up, Apple's profit and margins are slipping. So I think they were around 40% not too long ago, and they're down into the high 30s, which still isn't bad. But I guess by Apple standards is lower than where it has been. As I guess there is some pressure squeeze, for them around. They are selling iPhones and iPads, but it's not the margins that it once was, though still very respectable.
Net income fell by 7.5 billion. Well, that's funny because it fell 7.5 billion. I saw ANZ Bank, was it today or yesterday? The headline was
no, fell to 7.5 billion, 8.5%.
Oh, so it's fallen. Okay, it's fallen to 7.5 billion, but that then is still. I'll rephrase what I was going to say. That is still, I think, more than the ANZ Bank. So put it into a bit of perspective. I think the ANZ Bank was about 6.8 or something like that. Though.
In 1 year, and this is in a quarter, 7.5 billion US in a quarter.
Yeah, so there's some perspective there. So they're doing all right, aren't they? During the fourth quarter, Apple sold 33.8 million iPhones, 14.1 million iPads, and the company said its gross margin fell to 37% from 40% in the blah blah blah. So yeah.
So of course that's not going to include the new iPads. So that'll be interesting to. Yeah, they're not out until November with the Air coming out. Well, sounds a bit strange saying that. So the iPad Air is coming out on the 1st of November. The iPad Mini Retina TBA, other than it's November sometimes, that might mean the 30th maybe.
Yes. Yeah, so, who knows? But I know you're going to be lining up for one of those little iPad Retinas, aren't you? What were you lining up for?
Absolutely.
The iPad Retina, weren't you?
iPad Mini Retina, absolutely.
That's right. Yeah, well, look, speaking of money, there's another story that went out, and if I can find it, because it sort of kind of links in. Now, I can't find it. I don't know. Oh, here it is. So this Maverick giveaway, that's been the talk of the town. So everyone knows that the Mavericks has been given away, which is the latest version of the iOS of the Mac OS X system. Now, apparently Apple has come out and said that future updates will also be free. So Maverick and future versions of OS X will be free with free iWork apps for Mac and iOS devices. Now, that was something because just before the show, and as I was reading that story, I thought, oh, yeah, iWorks, I haven't got that. I'll go and get that. It's free. Why not? But it's not. It's only a free upgrade. Is that how you guys, is that right? Is that how you guys take that? Because it's not free for me. I've got to pay $30, but I haven't bought it before. So,
yeah, I'm wondering is it's free with new hardware now, and maybe as you say, if you already have it, the upgrades are free. So moving forward,
it's free. It's definitely free upgrades.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I upgraded GarageBand for free. I'd already bought that, I guess, on the iPhone. I'm not sure how that would work, but I don't know. I don't know about that one, but that's part of the iLife. That is a bit different. But anyway, this iWork, yeah, it's still, I've got to buy that, so it must be the future upgrades if you were a paying customer to start with. But anyway, in any case, what this article was getting to was that this will contribute to a $900 million increase in deferred revenue for Apple for the December quarter, affecting the company's gross margin expectations. Apple will record these deferrals for the Mac over a 4-year period. So I guess what they're saying is that the losses that they expect to would have otherwise the money they would have otherwise have received, they're going to write that off over the 4 years. Look, I don't know. I think this is a good thing, free software. Why not? I think it keeps everyone in the ecosystem. That's what they want to do. iWork upgrades for free. People don't probably, they're thinking Office, you got to buy each upgrade, is it blah, 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 whatever. I just think that this is a good way of just keeping the hardware rolling along, flowing out the door.
Well, maybe not so much if you're a software developer, though. I mean, I guess it's fine for Apple where they can subsidize it with the hardware, but if you're a independent software developer and people are getting the expectation that apps are to be free, that makes it a little bit difficult.
Yeah, but that's but what's in the iWorks pack? You've got is that numbers? Is that's in there?
Numbers, pages, Keynote.
Right. So numbers, spreadsheet.
So that productivity. I guess it's the Office Office competitor. Yeah, probably not really a competitor, but
so numbers,
the Office equivalent maybe.
Numbers is spreadsheet.
Yeah.
And pages, Word. PowerPoint?
Yeah.
Yeah, Pages is Word.
Pages is Word.
And then Keynote, PowerPoint.
Keynote, PowerPoint. Yeah.
Right, cool.
Like a beauty.
Yeah, right. So and you're using those, Michael? You're a big iWork fan?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah, so how does the sophistication of numbers stack up to Excel? Like, I know, like, is this, or say, how would you rank them, say, in order of, say, complexity, like for formulas and all the good stuff. So say that the top three, say.
Well, Numbers doesn't have macros for a start. Word doesn't have macros.
Right.
That's the biggest downfall.
Downfall just means you're not going to get any viruses.
Well, that's right. That's true. Absolutely true. Another one was Excel used to have a limit to the number of rules you could have per cell.
Right.
Where the current version of Numbers doesn't have that. Numbers didn't have that limitation.
Right.
And they're just little things in the background that people don't think about.
Yeah. But for the normal Joe and the normal business person, the Numbers is pretty good. So if you were to rate Numbers against, say, the Google spreadsheet, how would you go with that? Google would be coming in third spot with those three.
Yeah.
The Google stuff. Yeah, I don't like too much. Look, I think Numbers is good for home users and small business. It's going to do your budgeting and basic bits and pieces. I guess if you're a real Excel power user, as Michael says, it doesn't have macros. So if you're getting in with a really funky financial modelling and wanting to do macros and things like that, then Excel probably can't be beaten. But really, if you're just wanting to do a few formulas, calculate profit and loss for your small business or do your home budget, it works quite well. And it's got some good little presentation things. You can come up with some quite funky little graphs and
Oh,
that it does. So it's got quite nice presentation qualities.
Yeah.
And I'd say on the Keynote side, Keynote all over PowerPoint. It's just so much nicer.
Yeah, right.
PowerPoint looks something out of the 90s still.
Yeah. Oh, PowerPoint's getting better. It's getting better. I haven't seen anything done in Keynote other than probably keynotes, Apple keynotes. But look, just going on to this next story, flowing over here. Apple, according to a French court filing, Apple owes 12 million euros in iPad-related copyright fees for 2012, which is So the 12 million, that's nothing. That's nothing. They've probably forgotten about it. They probably thought it was some closet electricity bill or something. They've got that can wait. We don't need electricity in there. But 12 million. Like, obviously, there's more to this story than meets that eye, because they're not. Why would they care about 12 million? They got 120 billion. So that's a nothing. That's nothing.
I think it's just the funny French court going on. Like, they do this to Apple. They're fighting Google all the time. They're fighting Microsoft all the time. So there's something about technology in France, I think.
And Tim Cook has announced. I like it. What does he do? Does he just come out and? But anyway, he's announced that the company had its best quarter in education ever, generating over $1 billion in revenue on sales of the iOS and Mac products, which is it's 94% tablet market share in schools. Now, Michael, you're pretty close to the education. That's as far as I say. Is that reflective in Australia? 94% in.
No, I wouldn't think so. Not yet.
Yeah. Well, I know the public schools up here. Well, the one that we're at anyway. That's it's just Apple. They've got a whole room of iMacs, and then the kids have all got the iPads. Well, they got 4 or 5 in each class, or whatever. But yeah, I think that's where that's where they've always been in the schools, isn't it? I remember going to school. There was Apple IIs and 2Es and all this sort of stuff.
But they did drop away for a long time.
Is that when
there was that period, late 90s, early 2000s, and I think they're still only just starting to get back to that education market.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. And Tim Cook restated that the company will have new products in 2014. So
So talk about the watch, TV.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. But it was noted that we will see something of that this year. He did hint at that will flow through to 2014. So, of course, everyone picks up on those words, and everyone's all excited now as to, as you say, Michael, is it the watch? Is it the TV? Is it something we haven't even thought of yet? That's right.
Yeah, a shoe with a phone in it. That's the way. That's what we need. Now, look, an interesting article. You think about the iWatch and all this that's going to come out. You think, oh, it's an extension of the iPhone. Who wants an? Oh, I don't particularly want an iPhone on me, me wrist, and the screen's going to be small and all this sort of stuff. But there was an article about that Apple is looking to create a device that will allow you to control music, your temperature, your security, your lighting, and your energy use, your entertainment, and potentially much more. Now, this, to me, after I read this is now it's now making me think, yes, I need one of these watches. I don't want it to be an iPod. I need it to be temperature, security, lighting, energy use, entertainment, and potentially much more. I do need that. So, do you reckon this is the way that Apple's going? Michael, do you think that Apple is going down this road with the iWatch? It's not just going to be a wrist iPad?
Well, I don't think it'll be the watch, but you can already do all of that on your phone now.
Right. Yes.
There's the Nest thermostat in America. You can control with your phone. You can turn the air conditioning on and off. There's the Philips Hue lighting, which you can control colours, temperature. You can turn. There are things around that Ethernet-wise you can turn on and off power points, for example.
Oh, yes.
And you've already got a remote on your phone that works onto your iTunes, all that sort of stuff. It's already there.
But, it's such a drag pulling that phone out of your pocket. Like, it's such a drag. Like, I want it.
You just want to think it and make it happen.
That's right. Yeah. I need a retina-controlled device or something.
Siri, darling, turn the music down, please.
Yeah. Now, speaking of looking at stuff, Disney and Pixar. What was going on there? Who had that one?
Well, that was maybe not looking at stuff.
Yeah.
So
Why?
reportedly there was an accident
Ooh.
where Disney and Pixar titles were pulled from the iTunes store and also Amazon. So where you made your purchase in the cloud, suddenly your purchases weren't there anymore. So unless you'd gone and downloaded the copy, you weren't able to access what you'd purchased. So Disney did come out and say it was an accident, but listening to a few other podcasts, I guess there's a little bit more cynicism around that, and maybe they were testing the waters to see what kind of backlash they would get around doing something like that. And I guess where people have gone and looked at the actual fine print, you never actually owned the copy. Never. There was nothing guaranteed around it, so they're actually within their rights. But I guess after ponying up your dollars, you would expect it to be there pretty much forever. So it's all the naysayers are out saying, that's the issues with stuff being in the cloud, that you never really have it. Not like where you had real media.
Yeah, I guess so.
Probably still more to be seen around that one, I think.
But even though, like you buy your music onto a CD and you think, okay, it's on the shelf, I've got it forever. But, at some stage, you might have to buy that music again anyway. Because, like, if you look, cast your mind back to... But
Disney aren't going to come into your house and steal it off your shelf.
No, true.
You get up in the morning, gee, where did that CD go?
But where I was going with my thought was that you buy stuff every, say, 10 years anyway, because, from records to cassettes to CDs to DVDs to whatever. So, but I mean, that is pretty rude. If it's digitally in the cloud and then it's automatically gone from your device after you've paid for it, that's a bit rude.
Look, I guess as a normal person, you'd have the expectation that it's going to be there, wouldn't you? That it's suddenly hasn't disappeared overnight.
Well, yeah, that's right.
And you probably paid $20 or $30. I'm not sure what a average movie is on the iTunes store. So you would not expect it just to have disappeared and have the kids whinging that they can't watch The Lion King for the 50th time.
So you're quite happy.
Yeah, they would have found it straight away, wouldn't they?
Yeah,
they would have known it the minute it happened.
Well, you can't go looking on ISO Hunt anymore. They're gone. So does anyone here feel the need to download their music or purchases from the cloud, download to keep on their machine? No one here feels the need? They're happy. Everyone's happy with the way it works?
I do have a local copy, so all the stuff I've bought off iTunes and that I've got on my iTunes library, so I have downloaded it, but that's probably more so that when I want to play it or sync it to other iPods or whatever, it's just there and I'm not stuffing around with downloading it off the cloud. But then on my iPhone, I tend not to sync that now. Because I've got iTunes Match, I'll just pull music out of the cloud that way. But it's probably not because I have a fear that it's going to just have disappeared. It's just more so of, I guess that's what I've got used to having, that it's all there.
What about road trips with the kids and letting them watch the movies on the iPad and stuff?
Yeah, I guess that's probably a reason to have it there. That's especially when you want to watch it in offline mode, like on a iPad or iPod or remote device, you can take it out of the iTunes library and it will redo all those little bits and pieces to rescale itself for the iPod or iPad. So that's probably another reason to just have it all on the iTunes server in one place.
Look, I'm trying to work out why, because I download the podcasts. It's different podcasts and stuff. And so I download them. I made the fatal mistake of subscribing on the phone once, and then went my data allowance. But so now I'm subscribing on the computer. And I thought that if I sync the podcasts to the phone, why don't they come across, except for the latest podcast, which, as far as I can see, remains in the cloud because it's got a cloud download button there all the time. I don't know if you can see that. It's too bright. But they should all come across, shouldn't they?
Is that with the podcast app on the phone?
Yeah, yes.
That's all gone horrible ever since Apple invented that. It was
Okay.
far easier when it was all back in iTunes and you just synced it to your library and
Yeah, why
it
did
all
they?
worked.
Why did they want to pull that out? Like, what difference does it make? You know, like why pull it out? Are they saying that? Yeah, I don't understand. But anyway, I know I just can't.
I guess it was all an effort to move stuff to the cloud, but then their syncing never worked properly and it just all broke away from each other. So pretty much I sort of have 2 copies of podcasts now. The stuff that's on my phone, I let that subscribe and download, and what I've got on iTunes is really for my iPod, my iPod Touch and iPod Nano.
Yeah. I don't
How
know.
often do you sync your phone, Glenn?
Well, as far as I know, it syncs every night. I don't hook it to the computer every day, but I know when I hook it to the power, like when I take it to bed, take it to bed and hook it into the power
And tuck it in for the
That's just give it a kiss and and give it a hug. But when I plug it in, I can see that it is syncing. I see the thing going around, and I'm assuming that that's syncing. And I'm up to date. Like the podcast show in the list, except that the latest one is a cloud download, and I just don't.
But is that you can have the number of shows per podcast. There's a limit there.
Yes.
That you can set. So if you've set it at 3 and you haven't listened to 3 of them, it'll put 3 in and leave the other one there to tell you that it's still there, but you haven't downloaded it. Or is it coming in late? Is that podcast, for example, there coming in late after a sync, but it knows it's there, but it hasn't downloaded it on the computer to sync it.
Okay. Well, I've plugged it in now. I'm into the computer now because I thought, let me see if this. Yeah. Let me see if this syncs. Tonight before the show. And look, I've still got, I've got 3, say, twits. 28th of October, 21st of October, 14th of October, and they're in the cloud. But then if I looked at my iTunes at the twits, let me have a look. Where I go back to, I can multitask now with this new computer. I can do different things. Oh, look, you can see half my iTunes. Oh, but now you have changed the settings for the iPhone. Oh, geez, that maybe who knows. But look, the twits. I'll have a look down here. This week in tech. Well, they've downloaded, so they're full blue dots. So I guess that they're downloaded. Oh no, that top one it was a bung download, so that one did not work. But anyway, I'll have to sort that out. Maybe some of them just didn't work. All right.
What's meant to happen as well is all in the iCloud goodness is that, obviously if you start listening to one on your phone and come back and it's, you're just going to listen to it off iTunes or something like that, the positions are all meant to sync up. And I think that's starting to get better now there's been a couple of versions of iTunes spit out in the last month and obviously with the iOS 7 update to the phones as well. But I'm going to have to spend a little bit more time on that because to me it's still a little bit all over the place. Yeah,
so say this. Look, I'll leave this one alone. I don't want to spend too long on this. But for this one here, this tech webcast, I've got now. To me, that means that ... they're downloaded. That looks right to you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then on my phone, I've got cloud. So that's not right, is it?
But have you told it to actually sync that tech webcast?
Oh, I hope so. After I've gone
specifically,
probably not. I don't know. I'll have a look later. How do I do that? Phone. Podcast. Oh no, I don't. No, I haven't synced that one. But I've synced the other ones. I've synced those. All right, I'll muck around with it. Gee, I knew that would happen. All right.
And just a reminder, if you have a listener question, you can send that in to Glenn at aussiemaczone.com.au and we can answer all your iTunes and syncing.
Well, that was the listener. Right. That was the listener question for this week. we've used up too much time, so that was the listener question. So thanks.
And congratulations, Glenn. You've won a $20 iTunes voucher.
And yes, the answer to the problem was user error, probably. So just make sure all the settings things are right. But anyway, thanks, Michael. And IT Help for you, IT Help, number 4 letter u.com.au. And he gives us a $20 gift card voucher whenever someone, or the best review of the week in iTunes. So get in there and do a review because, you just could pick yourself up $20. So that's good. And if you've got a busted computer, iMac or iPhone, iPod or whatever else, send it down to Michael in Penrith if you don't live there. He'll fix it up for you. No worries.
That's right.
No worries. Okay, where are we going to now? What other little goodies have you put in the show notes, Michael?
What about Microsoft picking on Apple giving away the software? The corporate vice president of communications.
Yeah. He's not happy.
That Apple, that apparently he got right into saying how good the Surface 2 was, and saying that Apple don't have any people using their product anyway, so
they might as well give it away.
Yeah. So the Surface 2 is a better productivity device.
Oh, geez, they're just
nobody's buying it, but
no, that's right. The Surface 2 is
a challenge.
Yeah.
Apparently, that beta is going to be the next thing as well. Really high quality video. It's going to be all the rage soon.
Yeah. So Frank Shaw, he took to the official Microsoft blog to denounce. He didn't announce. He denounced the revamped iWork software and the well-received decision distributors free. So he's gone crazy apparently. Seems like it's just here the old reality distortion field gets a run. So Frank Shaw, he's brought out the RDF. Seems like the RDF generated by an Apple event has extended beyond Cupertino. Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe Microsoft should think about making the Office free as well, on the Mac platform. But I doubt it. What else is there?
Well, battery life is good with Mavericks. Increased battery life.
Oh yeah,
we're getting a huge increase in battery life just because of Mavericks. Even on old MacBook Pros, the 2007 MacBook Pro.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'll have to. I'm just waiting because it's like a 5 gig download, so I'm not doing 2 in the house in 1 month. I'm gonna have to spread it out over months.
No, but you've only got to do one.
Why?
And then before you double click install Mavericks,
yep,
you just drag that over and put it on another drive, put it on a USB stick or whatever.
I didn't do that. Yes, I know you. I think you were saying that last week.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so sorry, Michael. Just explain how to do that again for people who might have more than one Mac.
So you download and into the applications folder it puts an app called Install Mavericks.
Right.
And before you double click that to actually install it, you copy it onto your desktop, copy it onto a USB stick, whatever.
Mm.
Then you can install it on your computer. But you've got the copy.
Yes.
So you can put that into an applications folder on another machine and just double click it.
Right.
Because as it installs it, it takes it away. But if you've got a copy before that happens.
Yes. You
and you can also go right into it and take it apart. There's bits inside you can just double click as well. But that's the easiest way and it works great. I've done it. I've done it already.
Yeah, well, I suppose you would, but you've probably got quite more than probably a handful of Apple Macs down there. So, yes, that's probably a good way to do it. I'll have to remember that next time because, it was a 5.5 gig download. So that, bang, you go again. If you were to take a USB into the Apple Store, would they give you a copy? Like, say you went in and you said, I'm on 3G.
I'm on dial-up.
Yeah. Yes, I'm on dial-up. How do I update? Would they say, I'll bring it in and we'll update it for you?
I think maybe if you took your device in, I don't think you take your USB in, but if you took your device in, they may well
and
do
use
it.
Apple's wireless.
Yeah.
Well, that's the other point too, because that way you could authenticate to iTunes to demonstrate who you are and that you're allowed to have all this stuff, and you take advantage of their Wi-Fi.
Yes. I see. Now that version that you download, that's not installable, is it, or executable, or whatever you call it in the Mac universe? Like you can't boot from it? Can you make that
No.
a boot image?
You can make it a boot image, but that's a bit more drawn out.
Right.
Because inside the app is the actual installer, which you can then go in and you can easily pull it apart. You just hold down the control key and show package contents, and inside there is the actual app, the installer app.
But there's no need these days to boot from a boot into that OS, is there? Like from an external device? Because if you put a new hard drive in, or your hard drive crashes, or for whatever reason that goes through magnetized thing, you can just you can hook up. Is there like another partition or a partition in the ROM or something? Like, is there somehow you can still connect and download?
Yeah, you just hold down the R key, and it actually boots off the internet. But it does take a long, long time to do it that way.
Right.
So if you can create, like in my case, I create USB keys.
Yep.
So that I can just plug that in and do the install, and it takes about 40 minutes all up to do an install from go to woe.
Right. Yes. Yep.
But you need to be connected to the internet to do it as well, because Apple verify that machine's capable and who you are. And
yeah. Well, 40 minutes that's getting longer and longer. I don't think it's 40 minutes to install Windows anymore.
It's got. Oh yeah, it's still. I'm sure it's still more than 40 minutes to install Windows from start to finish, from petitioning the drive.
No, I don't know.
Starting from scratch.
I don't know. I think it's less because I don't know. I might have to time one next time I do it, but I'm pretty sure you can, because I think on the DVDs, on the Windows DVDs, it's a image. It's a Windows image, not like installable files. It's just like an image. I think it just moves over. But anyway. All right. So that's the deal. I should have downloaded onto a stick. All right. I'll do that next time. Kim will get her update next month, so if she can wait. All right.
What I did once, the first time I downloaded Lion, which is when they introduced it, I just sucked it down overnight, and then realised what I'd done. But it had actually put it onto my Time Machine backup.
Oh, okay.
So that's where I went and got it from.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Yes, so there's no point in me having a look on my Mac because the installer would have been deleted with the install.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, well. I'll remember that for next time. I'll do that next time because, 10 gig. Yeah, my precious data.
Precious download limit, yes.
That's right. And look, I've gone through my entire house because I've been using 200 gig a month. All of a sudden, I was using about 100. Then all of a sudden, I'm up to like 200 a month, and I'm thinking, I've got to do something about this. I've just gone through every device in the house, looking at everything, and making sure everything's nice, and maybe I've got to restrict the little daughter on YouTube.
Maybe it's Aussie Mac Zone.
Maybe she watches too much of that song. What does the fox say? That just plays. Just plays.
Isn't that great?
I've got to download it so she can just play it off the hard drive. Have you heard that one, Michael?
No, I haven't.
Oh, there you go. That's a job for you after the show. What the fox says. Is that what it's called, Jace? What does the fox say or something?
Well, I think it's what's the fox say. Yes.
Yeah. Go on YouTube that one. See if you can last the whole song.
It's the Gangnam Style of 2014.
Oh,
okay.
It's going crazy. You've seen Gangnam Style, Michael?
Of course.
Yeah, well, won't be too long before you've seen this one either. Get a jump on it. Go and do it tonight.
It's been on Ellen, so.
Oh, has it really? Jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Now, with the launch of Mavericks, it's all about Mavericks, isn't it? Really, the launch of Mavericks launched for free in the Mac Store. 7% of Mac traffic is already coming from machines upgraded to the new operating system. I would have thought it'd be more than 7%. I did it like in the first 2 seconds that it was out. According to a live tracker host, blah 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 blah. Yeah, okay, 7%. So what's it been out for? I don't know. What, a week? Yeah, a week.
Cool about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so Mavericks is not an auto upgrade. You've got to actually go and do it. So I guess that's probably why it's 7%. I would have thought it would have been higher, but 7%. I suppose you've got to be happy with that.
I think but do you want to be in the first week? That's when all the crap happens.
Yeah, but I'm pretty safe with the Mac stuff. You know, I think it's pretty well tested. It's not like the Surface where it bricks your device.
Astounding.
Oh, wasn't that just
Yeah, that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was great. All right. Anything else, guys? Before we go, I guess.
What about? I've got two questions.
Yes.
So the NSA hasn't been spying on Australia because we didn't get any mention on the weekend about spying on Germany or spying on France or the European Union or.
So we're too far away.
So we must be really close friends.
Yeah. They've got their own military bases and satellites bases up in Darwin somewhere, haven't they?
Yeah.
Pine Gap.
Yeah.
We're just family.
Bob Hawke would know about it. Wasn't he their best informant or something?
Probably.
He was. Didn't WikiLeaks release some information and one of the edits or something said, Bob Hawke was the most prolific informant or whatever. Nothing I don't think that was too outrageous or too libelous. Otherwise, he'd probably be in the can. Treacherous, he'd be in the can. Yeah. But yeah, I think a lot of info come from him. And what was your other question?
Yeah, and speaking for someone who still hasn't got their iPhone 5S, when they released it to say another 100 countries, that mean I've got to wait another 2, 3, or 4 weeks. They just stopped shipping it to the first lot of countries and release it in the second lot of countries. Then they stopped shipping it in that lot, release it in a third lot of countries. Like,
when was it due?
Do you have a countdown timer? Can you go online to see where it is?
Nah, not yet.
I thought it has a little map and it shows it coming across from Beijing.
But yeah, they say, we're releasing it in another, 50 countries.
Yeah,
but I still haven't got mine, so they obviously haven't released it in mine yet, even though they shipped they might have only shipped 100. I don't know how many they shipped, but
so can you walk into a store and buy one? No,
not really.
No,
I think there's limited numbers. So you, depending on what you're after, if you're there early enough in the day, I think there is some limited numbers, but it's still, you couldn't walk in any time of the day and pick your model. It's still in short supply.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went and had a look.
Says Jason with a smug look on his face.
That's right. Look, you people without 5Ss. Of course, if you're after a 5C, I think that's a different story. I think you can have as many as you like.
How is your fingerprint scanner going? Have you been using that?
Very well, thank you. Yes.
Yes.
No, it's really good. So I've got a PIN code on my phone, and it's just so much easier now. You sort of pick up the phone and just the way I guess you get used to holding it just with your finger over the home button. It just unlocks rather than having to put PIN code in.
How long does that take to accept? Like, is it like 2 seconds, 1 second of holding your finger?
Be less than a second. I guess I think it gets used to you and you get used to it sort of over time. So you sort of know how to hold it on there so that it's going to unlock straight away rather than sitting there and positioning and getting it exactly right. So
have you got fingerprint?
It's really good.
So have you got fingerprint and a code as well?
You still have to have the code. So like if you power the device on and off, you have to put the code in the first time. Yeah. And I guess if for some reason that you're having trouble with your fingerprint. So one thing I found is when my fingers were wet, I think I washed my hands or something and found that it was having trouble recognising them. So if it was cold and you had gloves on or something like that, you might still need to use your PIN, but then the touch screen wouldn't work with it. So,
well, I've just had a good idea. I'm going to bring out a line of gloves with the thumb missing, like with the thumbprint or something missing. No?
I'm going to bring out gloves with the fingers cut out. How about that? There's an idea for you. No one's thought of that.
No, but just ones with the finger pad holes. Just all gloves, all up around, except for your pads on your fingers. That's my new line. I'm going to bring them out for the summer. All right. I think that's about it. I think we've done another show. Unless anyone's got anything else, I think you guys.
I've just got a quick one on iTunes gift cards. So on gift cards on sale, which is a good website. Australia Post have got 20% off iTunes gift cards at the moment, and starting this Thursday, Big W will have 20% off. You'll be able to buy $50 iTunes cards for $40. So if you're running a little bit low, that'd be the places to grab it this week.
Well, the best idea, if you want 100% off, write a review on the
absolutely even better
on the iTunes. There you go. Woo! All right, so you guys can catch us at Glenn, Jason, or Michael at aussiemaczone.com.au, and we're all on the Twitters except for Michael. So you'll have to email him if you want to get in contact with him.
Has he got email? I think you can only send him a letter for Australia Post.
he likes to hear the latch of the door, ting, 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 because that's the letter that comes through.
Only way I can get people to talk to me.
By snail mail. Don't you love it? I hear. Did you hear that there was some talk about Australia Post merging with Centrelink or something?
Oh, I saw that last night.
Yeah, they reckon
that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Oh, look from a cost saving.
Get the best of both worlds, then.
Yeah, well, from a cost saving point of view, it's probably not a bad idea. Because there's an office in every town anyway. But yeah, I don't know if you want to be going into the post office and talking to the post lady about finding a job or whatever. But anyway, stranger things have happened. But I think it's been knocked on the head. But what wasn't knocked on the head was, you see how much they paid for their new logo? Like $40 million. Something like that. Crazy.
And
stuff.
no one admits to signing off on it.
That's right. That's right. They're out of government now. It was the last mob, but they're all out. So they're all running just, I know nothing. All right, so let's get out of here. Don't forget the Aussie Tech Heads web hosting. If you got a site, a blog, or whatever you want to do, and you're not happy with who you are, or you just want to start a new one, athwebhosting.com.au. Servers are located in Sydney. Nice, fast Dell servers, all fully managed and air-cooled and all this sort of stuff. So there's no dramas. It's a great uptime, and you can install at the press of about 3 buttons. 3 clicks on your mouse, you can have a WordPress thing installed. There's over 200 little bits of web software that you can get installed just by clicking the button. Surveys, e-commerce, WordPress, a Drupal, anything that you like, just about anything you like. Have a look at that. It's all, go and have a look. athwebhosting.com.au, and I think from $5.95 a month, so nice and easy. Sweet. All right, thanks, Michael. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Glenn.
We'll
see you, Jason.
We'll see you next week.
Guys.
Thanks, Jace. We'll see you next week as well. Next Tuesday.
Absolutely.
Good stuff.
And maybe even Garth. He might be back from his mystery cruise.
Well, he might be back from his mystery absence.
It's been a very long cruise.
I think I heard him say one night that he was going on a cruise, and then no one's heard from him since. So.
Hopefully not the Sun Princess. Didn't they have someone die and someone fall overboard on that one?
Oh no! Oh no! Well, let's give him another week, eh? And if he hasn't surfaced, we'll start making some inquiries. So,
did he actually pay to go on the cruise, or was he just hopping on the cruise and got caught?
He was a stowaway. That's right. He said he's going to have a rough sleep. He said his bunk was pretty hard, so it's probably the bottom of one of those lifeboats. He said he was going to sleep like a banana. Yeah, all right. All right, so that's it. Thanks, everyone, and hopefully
see you guys.
We'll see you guys. Well, hopefully you'll see us, and you'll hear us next Tuesday night live. AussieTechHeads.com.au/live, or download us from iTunes, video or audio, standard def, iTunes, high def, YouTube. Good stuff. See you then. Ta-da.